Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Heike and you're watching Stone Cold Coffee Crafts. And today I thought I would record a WIP Chat for you that I'm going to upload on August 25th, which is mine and the cat's birthday. As you know, I am right now on vacation and I don't film any videos in this or next week, but I've prepared to have a video up on every work day of this week, so every Monday to Friday. And I believe that there might even be an extra because either the 31st or the 1st is on a weekend, maybe? Not entirely sure. I got my days crossed up again. But anyway, that's what I have planned, and I thought that instead of the typical final review or unboxing or whatever, a WIP Chat might be more fun. And I thought a pet tag would be the best choice because today, as I said, is my girl's birthday. They are turning 12 today, so time flies. And yeah, I have recorded a pet tag before. It has been in one of my earliest videos. In the beginning I did a few more WIP Chats, even though they were mostly tags. So I'm still not the best at just talking away on camera because I still feel there isn't much that is happening that's really of interest in my week. But it has been a while and I thought it might be time to do it again. So here we go. The painting I'm working on is Siamese Tease by Mandie, Manzano and Diamond Art Club. I'm recording this on August the 14th, so I am right now just past the halfway point of this painting. By the time you see this, I should be done with it, I hope, because otherwise there won't be a wrap-up video for the month of August. All right. So let's get this started. As always, for Mandie Manzano paintings, I always start with the black outline and I fill in the color afterwards. So first question of this tag is, of course, what's your pet's name? So I have two pets right now. I have two ragdoll cats. They are sisters and they are called Lola and Nellie. Their full names are a bit more pretentious and they were not given to them by me. So Lola, for example, both these cats, of course, they are sisters, so of course both of them come from a cattery. So for this time I have actually not adopted. I don't know if this is going to be a question later on, but so far all my pets have been adopted, but the cats are the first that I have actually shopped. And I know you're not supposed to do that, and I would always recommend adopting. It was just that I had this dream of having a ragdoll cat, and there's just no chance at all to adopt one of those. No one would be crazy enough to drop a ragdoll cat in the shelter. So yeah, the original plan was to get one ragdoll and then adopt a second cat from the shelter, but Nellie had other plans. So that's how that happened. So, and since they are from a cattery, they have these super pretentious names. The cattery we got our cats from uses a Spanish name. I think because they like to do vacation in Spain, I have no idea. So it's the Cattery de la Buena Estrella, and they decided all the cats needed Spanish names, so they decided for Lola that her name is Dolores, and for Nellie it was Daniela. Now Dolores is also a name in many other languages. You know it in English, we have it in German, and it's usually what I consider to be a name mostly old people have these days. I think Dolores is not one of them that has seen a resurgence like other older names have in the recent years. So I usually associate it with a very old aunt of mine. So that's not the best you could name your cute little kitty. So basically, once it was clear that we were going to get the girls, I decided to have a chat with someone who was actually native Spanish and ask them what would be a typical nickname for these two names you would give. And she said, well, for Daniela, that's easy. It would probably be Nelly. So that's what we went with. And Dolores took her a little longer, and she came back to me after a day or so of thinking about it. And she said, well, I think the most likely we would go with would be Lola. So I like that. That's why we stuck with that. Yeah. And of course she has, or both of them have, plenty of nicknames. Because you can't just call your cat by your name, can you? You come up with all kinds of things to call them. And I don't know why, but the one that stuck the most, one of these days I just decided to call Lola Dumpling. And that's the one that stuck. The German version of that, of course. I don't call her Dumpling, I call her Knödel. But I don't know why I did it. It just stuck. And sometimes she is the diminutive form of that, which in German would be Knödelchen. Or if I feel Italian, I'm calling her Knödelino. Yeah, it's a bit childish. Nelly, on the other hand, we usually call Pushy because of her tail. It used to be very fluffy and very ladylike, and nowadays, most of the times, because that dumb kitty won't be brushed. She just will not accept to be brushed. Her tail will knot up at some point, and we have to cut the knots out, which makes her tail look horrible and ready and yeah, like the moth have gotten in. But back in the day when she was much younger, she used to have this super impressive, pretty tail, and it looked very fluffy, which is why we called her Pushy. So, second question was, how did you come up with the name? Okay, I guess I already told you that. Question 3, how old is your pet? Well, today when you see this, if you watch it right away, it's their birthday. They are turning 12. And I really can't believe it's been already 12 years. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I think their birthday being the same as mine is actually one of the reasons why we got them. So next question is, when did you get your pet? I've talked about this before. My partner, or the boyfriend, I've recently learned some of you find it funny when I call him that. But he is. He still hasn't gone down on his knee even after 20 years, so he's still the boyfriend. He was back in 2008, I think, was when he was officially diagnosed, but I knew sooner. I already knew the year prior to that. He was diagnosed with a severe depression. And he started therapy. And during his therapy, they somehow came to the conclusion that he missed having a pet he could actually interact with. So we used to have rabbits at that point. And when I was a kid, I used to have a rabbit before, but we only had this one rabbit, which is something you should absolutely not do at all. Rabbits are not supposed to live on their own. What it does to them usually, and I think that's one of the reasons why people maybe do it, they get very attached to their humans. And they will probably get very cuddly and snuggly, because they just are so lonely that they will take any kind of interaction they will get. if you actually at least have a pair, it would even be better to have more than just two. Just remember, just one male rabbit when the rest need to be female. Otherwise you will have ugly fights going on. When you have more than just one, and keep them as they are supposed to be, they might never be cuddly and tame and don't want to be touched. So that was the case with our rabbits at the point, and I left them alone. I just left them be. They came and they greeted us when they wanted to, and they were happy to see us and all. They were not afraid of us. They just didn't want to be touched. So I accepted that. What I didn't know was that he actually missed having this interaction. He grew up with dogs, so he always had this very close bond with all the pets he had as a child. So I didn't know that this was so important to him. And one day after therapy, he actually approached me about this and asked if I thought it would be possible to get a cat. I was a bit surprised because I always thought if he ever asked for another pet, it would be a dog. And then I would have to shoot him down because we would not have the time to actually take care of a dog. You know, you have to walk them several times a day. At least if you, like we do, live in an apartment, you have to do that. We don't have and never had a house with a garden or anything like that. So you have to walk them 3 times a day. Some dogs can't stay home alone so well. And at that point, I was not working from home as much as I do now. So it was pretty clear that this was not going to work out. So I was kind of surprised that he didn't even try, but I was happy about that because a cat had always been my dream pet from the time I was about 10, I think, was when I asked my parents for a cat for the first time. I always thought it would not be possible because I am actually allergic to cats. I wasn't always. It came out around the time I was 15, I think. We noticed that every time I interacted with my grandmother's cat or my godmother's cat, that I started tearing up and sneezing, and yeah. I never got officially tested, but you know, if that happens every single time you get in contact with a cat, it's pretty clear what's going on. So yeah, he asked for that, and of course I was all for it because I really wanted to have a cat. But first, I had to check out, am I really allergic? Is there something that can be done about it? So I went to a doctor and had the test done, and the test result was that I was indeed allergic, just not against cats. I am supposedly also allergic to dogs and other furry animals, including rabbits. So that was the point where I thought, okay, something is really strange here. I react to cats. I don't always react to cats, and I don't react very severely to cats. I do never react to dogs at all, and I have never reacted to my rabbits at all. So, huh? That's when I made an appointment with a second doctor. Both of them specialists for allergies. And I had a chat with him, and he told me afterwards, well, there is not much you can do really about it. There are desensitizing therapies, but the health insurance companies usually don't pay for those unless you work with animals, like you're a zookeeper or you are a vet or something like that. If you're just a regular person who would like to get a pet, they are not going to pay for that. And those therapies are way too expensive to pay for that on your own, at least at the time. Then it would have been for me, it probably still would be today, I don't know. So he told me, but if you are really sure about the fact that you are only mildly allergic, that you're only reacting sometimes and it's not so bad, you can of course try. You just have to remember that if it goes wrong, you will have to let go of the pets. And this is probably my most irresponsible moment I've ever had when it came to pets. I decided to go for it because I knew I only reacted some days. So it was pretty bad when I was 15. I reacted every single time I came in contact with a cat. But the older I got, the fewer the attacks became. I spent whole weeks staying with friends of mine who had cats and did not bother to vacuum every single day or stuff like that. And I remember I spent a whole week with them and I had exactly one attack in that time. And it was nothing a little allergy pill didn't take care of. So I went ahead with the plan. Well, the funniest thing was the second doctor, he told me, you know, I'm also allergic to cats and I have cats. And you just have to find out what you react to the most. For him, and this turned out to be true for me as well, it was mostly coming in contact with any kind of biological waste from them. So basically their litter box. That's an issue. If I clean out the litter box, although I have now discovered I can just wear my mask. It helps. So yay for masks. When I clean out the litter box, it is... Oh. Whew, sorry about that. I, of course, have now forgotten to write down what I was talking about last because I had to make a phone call after I got my mail today. So what was I talking about? I think about the fact that the doctor was also allergic. So yeah, basically what he told me was to check and be prepared, and it worked out fine in the end. I am really, the older I got, the less the allergy symptoms show up. And if they do, usually taking just one prescription-free anti-allergy meds will do. So yeah, after I had that more or less fixed, if you would like to call it that. Not entirely sure you would want to, but I'm going to call it fixed. I looked up basically if we had any type of ragdoll breeders in the reachable vicinity, and there were a few, and one was actually in the town over. And I looked at her website, I browsed through the whole thing for hours. I actually loved what I saw, how they had integrated their cats and also the litters when they have them into their life. They have a video vlog of every litter they've ever had, and it's still active on the site. They take pictures, they do little stories each week to show the development. Basically what I do with the cat clips in the beginning, just in picture format. It was just so loving, and I had such a good vibe from that I contacted her right away. And I actually had looked at the litters she currently had and noticed that there was this 3-cat litter that was born on my day, and 2 of them were my girls. The third one was a boy, but he was already marked as basically sold. They don't call it sold. I would think they call it really adopted as well. And the girls were exactly the type of ragdoll I had been looking for. The color they are is called blue mitted, which means they have this grayish mask. They have the gray tail and the gray legs, but they have white paws. And that was the coloring in a ragdoll I found so cute. The cutest of them all, and I thought this is really fate. And basically that's what I wrote her. I wrote her a long email telling her that we had decided we wanted to finally get cats, and that my absolute dream cat would be a ragdoll, and on top of that a blue mitted one. And I just noticed that she had this beautiful cat called Dolores, which was born on my birthday, and it's actually, it is Kismet. this cat was born for me. So she thought this was such a cute and funny male that she instantly set up a date with me to come and visit them, to check each other out, because they do that with every single person they don't know yet, and asks them to get a cat from them. You have to basically pass a few tests, so they don't tell you that you have to. So we set up this date. It was in the week after my grandma's 80th birthday, and I fell so ill right before her birthday. I still went there and somehow got through that day, but I called the breeder and told her, I'm sorry, we are not going to make that that date we set up. I am so sick and I don't want to come into your house and basically accidentally infect the cats. So that was the first test I seemingly passed. She told me afterwards, if I had shown up there with my cold, I would have been instantly marked off her list of potential new parents for her cats. And that it was a sign that we were actually responsible, that we considered that we could get the kitties sick and rescheduled, basically. So yay for me. I knew at that point that you could actually get your pets sick with your own medical issues. We've had that with my very first rabbit. My mother accidentally gave the poor thing one of her colds one day, and we were so shocked that this is actually possible. We didn't know that at this point, but yeah, I never forgot that. So yay me. We had a few visits with this breeder. We met the cats. The boyfriend at this point was absolutely against getting 2 cats. And then he met Nelly, and it was love at first sight. So basically, the breeder and I, we looked at each other, we grinned, and we knew this is a done deal. We are not going to leave this house without asking to adopt 2 cats from them. And that's what we did. So we met them for the first time in October, and they came home to us on December 8th, I think it was that year. But I have to say, if you ever want to get a cat from a breeder, please make sure that this person is responsible. They shouldn't have a ton of cats they breed with. The cats should actually be part of the household. What a lot of breeders do is they keep their cats completely separated from the household. Those cats are not fully socialized with humans, and you are not going to have a lot of fun with them. I can promise you that. This breeder actually had a ragdoll cat that came from such a cattery. She told me it was her first she ever got. And she didn't know back then to read the signs. And yeah, what she got was a really angsty, unsocialized cat that got used to her and her husband at some point. But he would not interact with any person he didn't really know at all. That was actually another test. When we first visited, that cat was in the living room on the highest bed of the scratching post, and he actually stayed there. So they told us afterwards, usually if he doesn't like a person, he will immediately come down and hide somewhere for hours. That he stayed up there was actually a good sign that we seemingly had the correct wipe to deal with cats. Which I found funny because this actually repeated with other people's angsty cats over the time. So it seems we have to have a certain very calm wipe that does soothe cats that usually don't interact with humans they don't know, which I find kind of great, really. I knew that my best friend had that. Every cat loves her. It's really scary. I don't know if her perfume is catnip or, but every cat, no matter what, the most aggressive cat will turn into a little pussy cat when she's around. No matter how scared a cat is, it will come out and interact with her. It's the weirdest thing to see. So that I have a little bit of that, I'm kind of proud. Yeah, and that's when we got our cats. That's how we got our cats. So, yeah. And what breed is my cat? I talked about this. They are ragdolls, which means they are pretty big, fluffy cats. They have a very calm character. They are very stalkery. There is actually nothing you can do without them. You might have noticed that. So Lola is what you would call a very typical ragdoll cat. She is always in the middle of everything. She's always the center of attention. There is no such thing as a foreign person to her. If you come into her house, you are there to love on her. There's no question about that in her mind, and that's how she treats people. I have talked about this before. We have people who come here once a year, for example, to check how much water we used and how much heating we used, because we have to pay that based on how much we use each year. And once a year they come and actually check the amount we used. And these people come once a year, but they know that this is the household with the cats that will follow them around, and the one cat that will want belly rubs from them, which is totally funny. Yeah, and Nellie is a bit more reserved. She is not quite in your face like that. She doesn't like to be carried around. Ragdolls usually, that's why they have their name. They are usually not opposed to be carried around, and they will get very relaxed in your arm, just like a ragdoll. And Nellie is not for that. Never has been. So when you pick her up and carry her around, she will behave like you are trying to murder her. Which is sometimes, yeah. But that's just how she is. Yeah. How old were you when you got your pet? I wonder. Why this question? But I've said it before. When I got these cats, I was 27. Yeah, it was 2008. I was 27. Where's my color? There's my color. Number 8. What's your pet's favorite food? These cats are so cliche. Their favorite food is tuna. I'm going to put a picture in here because I just restocked the tuna. So that's what 96 tins of tuna look like. Impressive, isn't it? And can you imagine the boyfriend when he came home that day? He had the audacity to ask me if I wanted to buy that much tuna or if that was a mistake. Of course I wanted to buy that much tuna. I mean, he was right. I bought one more. I usually buy these 24 packs, but I bought one more. There was another flavor I got. So one is tuna mixed with rice, one is tuna mixed with calamari, one is tuna mixed with it's not scampi, the small one, the very smallish ones, and one is with a bit of vegetable. So I usually don't get the vegetable, but I did this time, so that's why we have 96 tins of tuna. They will work their way through it. No one worry about it. And that's their favorite food. It is not suitable to be their sole food though. So it doesn't have all the supplements they would need, so they get both wet and dry food. And I know that some people are totally against the dry food. I get that, but they don't eat much of it. They are very dainty eaters, and they have always been good drinkers. So they were never the type of cat that never drinks. And I think then it works out. If your cat drinks enough water and doesn't overeat on the dry food, it works out usually. I have two. Where can I put them? Here. What's your pet's favorite game? Annoying me? Does that count? I think for Lola it is chasing a flashlight. I guess she would also chase a laser pointer, but we actually just use a flashlight. We haven't done it in recent months because we are a bit more cautious about her now. She is an older lady now, so we don't want to overexert her. But sometimes we get the flashlight out and let her go in rounds. With a flashlight, you can actually make her go in circles like a crazy cat, which is very funny. But you see that she is now getting up in her age and that it's getting more strenuous for her, so we don't do it as often as we used to. They are overall not the most playful cats, I have to say. You can play with them, but it's usually just for a few minutes and then they are, nope, I'm done. I'm going to lie down now and have a nap. For Nelly, it's the classic thing. She likes cat toys that move a lot, so nothing special. Question number 10. What is your favorite thing to do together? Well, for Lola, it's basically everything as long as she can be near me, unless she is like today pouting because we are a bit on the outs today. She was a bit of a naughty kitty. So usually we spend a lot of time together. You've seen maybe pictures I have shown before. On the couch with her using me as the best cat bed ever. And yeah, that's how she can spend her whole day if you let her. It gets painful at some point, the not moving part. For Nelly, she usually ignores me for most of the day, but she will be on me as soon as it's nighttime and we are in bed, and she will demand cuddles. So that's my favorite 10 minutes of the day with her, when I'm suddenly in the center of her attention. Usually it's the boyfriend, because those two, they found each other. It was love on first sight, so I'm not going to get in between that. But sometimes I am also the star of the Nelly show, so that's what my favorite time with her is. Question 11. Do you go outdoors? No, yes. We don't walk them, so you can, if you train your cat to wear a harness, you can walk them. We don't do that, but we have a tiny wee little garden, as you know, and we let them out there. Of course, we have made it secure for cats, put a cat net up and everything. So yeah, they can use that. So I guess that answers question number 2. If yes, where is your favorite place to go? We go outside in our tiny, tiny little garden. And Nelly will probably stay there for about 3 minutes and then she'll go back in because being outside is stupid. And Lola, she will stay with you as long as you are outside there. She will most likely lay down in the chair next to you and have a good old nap. In the past, she used to sometimes even sleep there outside. In the summer, we leave the door open and she can go outside in the night. And usually she would, during nights like the ones we have right now, the really tropical ones, she would sleep outside on the chairs. But she hasn't done that yet this year, so I don't know if it's no longer a thing or if she just prefers to annoy the crap out of me during these nights. I wonder. What is a bad habit your cat has? What is a bad habit your cat has? Nelly is a scratcher. She scratches all the walls. We have so many scratching boards and scratchy toys and things up. We have, I don't know how many of these boards up in all the rooms on all places on the wall because she used to scratch there. It doesn't help, she just picks a new spot. It is actually, I think, a sign of her insecurity. She is a bit of a... She's a mixture of insecure and territorial. So I think that's why she does it. We've never been able to train her out of that. And I guess at this point in time, we are never going to. So one of the days when she is no longer with us, we are probably just going to have to re-wallpaper all the walls, and that will be it. For Lola, what does Lola do? She's not happy with her litter box service, which is the boyfriend's job because of my allergies. She will pee in the shower. That's the least bad of her bad behavior when she's not happy with her litter box. The next step will be to pee on either the boyfriend's clothes or something she thinks belongs to him because it smells strongly like him. And the last resort she has recently resorted to is yeah, doing her business right in front of the litter box. So yeah, I keep telling him, you need to clean out the litter boxes every single day. But I don't know, she just can't retain that information. I mean, I wonder if we had more than just one toilets, I really would try the approach of, how would you like if I never cleaned your toilet for you? And by the way, the other one is mine. You're not going to use it. Thank you. But sadly, I have to use it myself, so it's going to get cleaned. Yeah, that's her bad habits. And of course, sometimes she has the habit of not letting you sleep like she did last night. I actually didn't know what she wanted because I was totally willing to give her belly rubs in the middle of the night, whenever that was, when she woke me first, but she wouldn't settle down, so I don't know what's going on with her. Sometimes she's a mystery. Anyway. The next question is a bit of a mess. I think that they were trying to ask what the best habit is my pet has. The actual question says, what is the best thing about your pet has? Yeah, we are going to go with what's her best habit. I think their best habits are actually the way they are always so close to us and just show us how much we mean to them. Because they are very affectionate. I know I portrait Nelly a little different in these little intro clips because she always has this resting murder face. But she is actually a super gentle and loving cat. She just demands of you to leave her alone during the day. And that's an easy thing to do. I just let her sleep until she decides it's time for love and affection. And I guess for Lola, it's just she never leaves me alone. Sometimes that annoys me, but most of the time, it's actually the best thing ever. So, yep. And she's funny. She is so funny. She's the big entertainer in this household. 14. What is the naughtiest thing your pet has ever done? Okay. One of the favorite jokes I sometimes make in these intro videos, as far as I can tell from your feedback, is when I make one of the cats say, "I'm going to poop on your face." This used to be something I just would say. Whenever they would give us this murder death glare, I would say, "See, they are going to poop on our face tonight." And one night, the boyfriend was lying in bed. We could hear one of the cats was using the litter box. And then Nellie came into the bedroom and she jumped on the bed like she usually does. She climbed on top of the boyfriend because that's what she does. And I was not in the room. And suddenly I heard him call for help. And I went into the bedroom and he was lying stiff as a board, trying not to move, and was saying, "Please help me remove that." And I walked around the bed and she had been using the litter box, and a tiny bit of a turd had been stuck to her fur. And when she had jumped on him, it had come loose and had rubbed on his face. So I don't know if I would call this the naughtiest thing she has ever done, because she didn't do it on purpose, but holy crap. Oh, I'm probably just answering number 15, which is, what is the funniest memory involving your pet? That is for sure the funniest thing about Nellie. So let's think about something truly naughty she did. Nellie's a puker. She seems to have a very sensitive stomach. And she vomits a lot. So I guess the naughtiest thing about her will involve some kind of stealth vomiting, because she sometimes tries to hide it. And we've had instances where the boyfriend got up in the morning and the first thing he did was step in a cold puddle of puke. She has puked all over his computer. She has puked in his shoes and he has stepped into it. All this stuff. I mean, it's hard to say this is naughty because it's not like she does it on purpose, but yeah. Overall, these two are actually very good pets. They don't get into any kind of shenanigans you often see. Like, they don't get into our food or anything. I even one evening forgot to close the box with the treats. Oops. It's a bit like a train station today. All right, so now I remember. This time I remember what I was talking about. One night I actually forgot to close the box with the treats, and it stood open on the kitchen counter all night. There wasn't much in there anymore, but the next morning when I noticed, I was pretty sure that it was still the same amount that had been in there the night before. So, yep, that's the kind of cats my cats are. Goody two-shoes. And as for Lola, what is the naughty things the funniest memory I have involving Lola? She's my little clown, but she's usually more the cute, I kind of love you cat. What did she do? Can't remember on top of my head something that was super funny about Lola. She does a lot of things that makes me laugh, but it's usually smallish things. Anything naughty she does? Well, I've already talked about the peeing and the stuff she does to the man. No, not really. They are actually very well behaved. I mean, we have the usual jumping up on stuff they are not supposed to. But on the other hand, who is saying they are not supposed to? It's not like the humans in the household have anything to say. So that's usually the extent of it. Does keeping me awake all night count? Can you tell I'm a bit salty about that? Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. What is the best memory involving your pet? Oh geez, there are so many. They are just the best kitties ever. Ragdolls will really, really, really know when they need to give you space and when they need to be close to you. I have to say the one thing, she will or both of them won't do, is they won't really keep you company when you're sick. Whenever I have a cold, yeah, they will be in the same room, but it's not like, usually when I'm on the couch, Lola's on the couch. When I'm sick, Lola is not on the couch. Forget it. I think most of my memories with my cats are what I would call the best memories. I'm not really able to choose there. They are just overall great pets. What is the hardest thing about being a pet owner? I guess in our current living situation, the hardest thing about being a cat owner specifically, it would be easier if it were a dog, is that we just can't leave home for a few days. So we have to get a cat sitter. We have someone here in the house who takes care of the kitties if we have to go away. But for example, right now she is on vacation. She is originally from the Netherlands, and over summer and over Christmas and New Year, she will go back there and spend time with her mother, who's also still alive. Her mother is the same age as my grandmother. So right now we are planning to go and see my family over my birthday. So when you watch this today, I should be with my family, hopefully. But since we don't have a cat sitter, that means that we are going to be able to stay away one night. We can leave the cats alone for one night, but more than that is dangerous. So that's one hard thing, because while I usually don't need the extra time to spend with the boyfriend's family, we don't usually stay overnight there. We just go there and drive home the same day, even though it's not so much closer than my parents, but that's just how they are. I don't know. They are a bit different from what I am, to be honest. But I would really like to stay a couple of nights at least to make the best of the time, really, because it's a long drive. It's, in the best case, it's a 3-hour drive, but usually the best case is not what you are going to experience on that route. And it would be good to have a little more time than what we usually get. Also, every single time something is wrong with the cats, it's just like a little personal Armageddon. I can't cope with them being sick. I'm always so worried, and I have been lucky. The cats have been so healthy throughout their whole life. There has nearly been nothing we had to go to the vet for. So basically the whole medical history is we had them fixed. That was the first thing we had to go to the vet for after we got them. And of course they get their yearly exam and their vaccinations and stuff. But the only other instances we ever had to take them to the vets outside of that is they both had to have surgery for their teeth. And Lola had this urinary tract infection at the beginning of the year. And that is literally the only thing ever we had to take them for the vet for. So we had so much luck so far, and I really hope it stays that way. That would be really my biggest wish, not to have to deal with a myriad of health issues now that they are entering the last phase of their life. That would be good. We're actually so rarely at the vet that they commented on it when I came in with Lola at the beginning of the year. She, and I quote, said, "Well, that is someone we don't see very often." Yep, and I'm glad about that, believe me. I like you guys, you're nice and all, but no. And Lola was pretty much the same. She was, no. What is the most rewarding thing about being a pet owner? It's just how much they just love you. I mean, Lola is really, really annoyed with me right now. Because I was not happy about her behavior over the last night and pretty much gave her the cold shoulder this morning. But once I'm done with this section, I'm going to go and sit down in the living room and she will come up and have a cuddle with me like always, and things will be fine again. And I feel like that's something you don't get with humans very often. Just this, okay, I'm pissed with you for 10 minutes and then everything will be all right again. You don't have that too often. And sometimes I think we should take a cat's approach to life. It's too short to be angry with each other for a long time. But yeah, it's great if I actually don't live through a zombie apocalypse and I have to go into work like a normal person, and I come home after work and my cat is greeting me at the door, maybe even both of them. I quite often get both of them. I never tell the boyfriend because he usually doesn't. Lola is usually nah when he comes home. On the other hand, his cat quite often greets me at the door. That's just a good thing. It's just a really good feeling to come home to someone who is truly happy to see you. And not just for the fact that it means you can give them treats now. Question 19. Does your pet have a nickname and what is it? Couldn't we have had that further up? Okay. Yeah, we already talked about the nicknames, so I'm not going to repeat that. And last question, have you ever taught, you mean? Have you ever taught your pet any tricks? If so, what? No, I haven't. I know you can train your cat, but I have never tried to do that. So no, sorry, no tricks from the kitty. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. And I hope this was a good choice for a video for today. Like I said, I am hopefully with my family right now, which actually means I am not with my cats. But yeah, it's not like the two actually know that today is their birthday, right? So we are going to celebrate when we are back home tomorrow. And yeah, I would say I'm going to take pictures, but it's not going to be something special since I'm not allowed to dress the cats. Nowadays, the boyfriend tells me, yeah, of course you can dress the cats. But nowadays, the cats would kill me if I tried. And back in the day when they were still young and impressionable, and I could have done it without dying, he forbade me to do it. So anyway, guys, if you have any questions about the ladies you would like to have answered that were not in the tags, feel free to drop them down below. Maybe we can get another WIP Chat out of that. I don't know. If enough questions come up, I will collect them and I will record another WIP Chat. It will be in September for sure. But the cats seem to be a topic you guys like as much as I do. So let's talk about them if you want to. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to stop this now. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and yeah, I hope you enjoy all the content I have prepared for you for this and next week, and I will probably not be able to answer any comments at least for the next couple of days, so please be patient. You know me already, you know I sometimes need a lot of time to come back and read and like and answer your comments, but I will at some point. So anything you want to tell me, anything you want to ask, please leave a comment down below. Otherwise, I'm going to let you go and we will talk to each other once I'm back from vacation and I have something else prepared for you tomorrow. Bye, guys.